Hi, everybody. Today I want to talk about what happens when your projected plan of action seems to have taken a standstill. Now, this could be significant in a lot of areas of your life. It could be your spiritual path. For example, you could be meditating, you could be manifesting, you could be trying to increase your spiritual walk in some way. You could be trying to increase your connection to your guides. You could be trying to figure out your path in life. It could be something spiritual or it could be something natural. Maybe you're trying to manifest a new job or a new home, and things have seemed to not move forward as much as you would have liked. You're doing your affirmations, you're doing all of your work that you're doing to manifest this new path in your life, this new direction, maybe a new partner for yourself, a romantic partner. Maybe you're trying to get pregnant. There's a lot of different ways in which we access our spiritual path and our spiritual walk in order to manifest natural things in our life or spiritual things. So, for example, if you're really wanting to move forward in your spiritual walk and you just feel like the heavens are concrete and nothing's coming through. And even for me, I've been doing this a long time. Every now and then I come upon a day or a week or a period of time when I'm not getting through. I'm not feeling a connection. So normally when I do my spiritual practice, I connect with the energy above me, divine love, divine light, divine healing, anything, whatever you call the divine, and I connect with the energy beneath me, which is Mother Earth energy, and I bring that into my soul and then into my day. Normally, everything's wonderful. Everything feels good. I start to feel very connected to all that is. We are, the collective. We're the physical expression of the divine. And so normally all is good. I feel very connected. My guides come through, my ancestors on the other side. I have an easy time connecting and speaking to those who want to come through. Sometimes I get nothing. Even sometimes when I'm seeing a client, I might come upon a brick wall where nothing's coming through. And what do I do in those kind of instances? Normally, what I do is I try to get through, but if I can't, I just reschedule the person and say, I'm sorry, not getting anything today. There's no way to explain it, but we'll reschedule the appointment, and the next time normally it goes much better. So every now and then there's just interference, it seems like, in the heavens. And what's that all about? It could be a lot of different things. So there could be interference in the heavens. So, there is a divide between our physical body experience and the spiritual world. There is a divide. And so sometimes there is interference. Sometimes spirit just wants you to take a break. Sometimes, just like you put your crystals out in the new moon to let them recharge themselves, sometimes as souls, we need to recharge. We need to have a timeout. We need to reboot our internal computer, if you will. As you know, like with computers and phones and everything else electronic, sometimes you just have to restart it. Sometimes you have to reboot it. If things are going haywire, if things aren't working, just turn it off and turn it back on. And I like to think a lot of times that when I am feeling blocked in the spirit realm, maybe it's just time to take a break. Maybe it's time to contact my clients and say, hey, let's reschedule. I'm having a reboot today. It doesn't happen that often. Normally, my reboots come naturally on my days that I don't have any clients. I spend a lot of time in nature to reconnect myself. I try to go out every morning into my garden and just hang out there, maybe drink some tea, get my feet in the earth, weather permitting, of course. And so there's a lot of things that we can do to reboot our soul. We can obviously spend time in nature. That's my number one go to thing. If you don't have any nature around, you have something. You have some way to go outside and connect with some aspect of nature. If you live in a big city and there's, concrete everywhere, there's got to be some place where there's a tree, where there's a little patch of grass, where there's something that you can just stand there and allow yourself to feel the earth energy recharging you. So anytime you're feeling blocked, don't fight against it. Whatever we resist persists. Sometimes we are pushing against something that is not in our highest good. And so our guides are actually saying, hey, don't go this way. Don't take this path. And so, we push forward, we push forward, we push forward, we do it anyway. And sometimes we experience a challenge in our life because we didn't listen to those blocks saying, hey, this isn't the direction that you need to go. Sometimes I'll just find the interferences come and I just have to notice them and say, okay, well, maybe it's not time to write this blog right now. Maybe it's not time to do this meditation right now. And I just find something else to do and come back later. And it might only be an hour later, but it might be a day later. So we have to go with the flow. Go with the flow. It's really important not to fight against when you feel resistance. Resistance is something that is a gift sometimes. When we experience resistance, if we resist back, and I think I talked about this last week, then, there's always a pushback. There's always a pushback. So what we're trying to force into our life is going to resist and push back. Sometimes it's better just to allow things to flow, allow to flow. And what my guides have been saying lately is it's just really important to allow good to come to me rather than chase after it. A lot of times we as humans, we want to be productive. We got to push forward. We got to, post that social media every day. We got to, do our marketing. We got to, whatever it is we have to do to accomplish our goals. Oh, we have to do laundry right now because there's, laundry piling up or there's dishes in the sink. And yes, those things do need to be done. Don't let those things pile up. But whenever we get overwhelmed with all these things that we need to do, it's really important to take a little time and just breathe and allow things to flow more naturally. Now, there are going to be days when you feel more productive than other days. I usually try to have at least one day a week where I get out and I clean the house and I do all those normal things, clean out my car and get gas and go to the grocery store and all of those things. And if I have scheduled that day for a specific day and I'm just not feeling it, well, then maybe it's going to wait till another day. So it's really important for us as spiritual beings having a physical body experience to be aware that our internal guidance system is going to tell us the best path, the best course of action for any particular day. And yes, sometimes we have to push ourselves. We don't always feel like exercising. And a lot of times, especially with me with exercising, I'm thinking, oh, I can do it after this client or before the next one, or, I'll do it at a different time. And so we really sometimes have to push ourselves to do the things that we need to do. And then once we get there, we feel better. But then sometimes we're just not feeling it. I might get on my exercise machine and I'm going at it for like 5 minutes. And then I just, instead of feeling invigorated and ready to keep going, I'm feeling like, oh my God, I need to take a nap. Well, guess what I do on those days? I just get off that machine and go do something else. So yeah, sometimes we have to listen to our bodies. We have to listen to our internal guidance system and just allow ourselves to reboot. So don't fight against those times when you feel like you're struggling. Don't fight against. Just relax and say, what are you trying to tell me? Are you trying to tell me to take a break? Are you trying to tell me that what I'm fighting against isn't really something I need to be fighting against? Let's talk about body image. We're always saying, oh, I need to lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds in order to, have this image of being this thin, young type person. So I have to do this. I have to do this. But if we're carrying an extra 5 or 10 pounds and then we go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh, your numbers look good, everything's wonderful. Well, guess what? Maybe you don't need to lose that 5 or 10 pounds. Maybe you just need to be happy with who you are and maybe buy some bigger clothes or, whatever you have to do. But it's all about acceptance of yourself. And if you're having a day in your spiritual walk where you're, you're just having trouble. You just can't seem to connect. You can't seem to feel it. Then, it's okay. Just take a day off, go on, do something else, maybe come back to it later. So today it's all about giving yourself a break, not trying to force something to happen in the wrong timing. You can't force a flower to bloom when it's not time for it to bloom. You can't force a daffodil to bloom in September. It's just not going to happen. Daffodils bloom in like March, April, depending on where you live. They bloom in the spring. They don't bloom in the fall. So give yourself a break. If you're a daffodil and it's September, you're probably not going to bloom. So today's message is a pretty simple one. It's give yourself a break. It's give yourself a break day. Don't fight against things that you seem to be running up against, and yet don't become inactive either. Don't stay there. You can't stay there for months and months and years and just not move forward. At some point, if this has been going on a long time, then there's probably something you need to address. There's probably something inside of you that needs to be addressed so that you can move forward. But if you just have that occasional day where you're just not feeling it, or maybe you're just not sleeping at night, or, just go with the flow. Say, okay, well, I'm just not sleeping tonight. It's one of those things, and tomorrow will be better. So I know I'm not doing very good lately of keeping under my 10 minutes, but I hope you've enjoyed my little talk. And if you're having a block today, go outside and do something different for a few minutes and then come back and try it again. And you'll have a better day. You'll give yourself a break. Go with the flow. That's my message for today. And have a great day, and I'll see you next week.